Best case scenario, I could trade my car and then I get a new car. Worst case scenario, I drive all the way over there and they sold the car. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's a great day to get a new car. It's a great day to just be alive. We made it. We're at Mercedes Benz of Sarasota and they sold it. I was gonna have a whole vlog and everything planned out. It just didn't go how I was expecting. On NAS 100, it's gonna be calculated a little bit different. So if you think about it like this, for every point, it's gonna be 4 ticks on NAS 100. Come on, it's not a good day without eating some steak. Every day that I can eat steak is a good day. It's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, it won't be. That still could have been a 1 to 7, which is crazy. 1 to 7, most of us don't even make that in a week. But yeah, it's just another working day. Not every day as a trader is gonna be stuck on the charts, trust me. Angelo just got a payout with top step of $678. Welcome back to another video, everyone. I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to move the camera over here for the start of the video. I'm gonna give you some good lighting. I got y'all. I ain't gonna have you in the dark. Here we go. All right, before the camera died, I was trying to say, welcome back to another video. Right now, it's about to be a little bit of a chaotic start to this video, but as of right now, it is Saturday. To give you a good idea where we are, there's a festival going on in front of me, so you may hear like a concert in the background. Don't worry, I'm not going to be in this location long because I got to take my girlfriend to work. From taking my girlfriend to work, I have about 5 to 6 one-on-one calls from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. with my students, because that's what I do on the weekends, because the weekdays I try to have my time free because that's what I trade for. But on the weekends is when I'm trying to give them the time. So I got to do that from 3 to 6. I got those calls, but I'm also trying to go to Mercedes and see what's up with this car, finalize anything if I can, see if I can make sense of it before it closes, because I'm pretty sure it closes earlier on the weekends. So that's kind of tough, very tough. But like I was saying, it's going to be a hectic start, but we're going to make it happen. We had a session this morning, which was in yesterday's video. So if you didn't check out yesterday's video, make sure you check it out. I appreciate you guys. And for the people that want to work with me one-on-one, first link in the description. But with that being said, I'm about to show you outside this beautiful Saturday. It looks good right now. Look at this. All these people down there. It's going crazy. I'll even take you over here. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's a great day to get a new car. It's a great day to just be alive. It's a great day to be me. It's a great day to make some money. It's a great day to just be alive, man. Be grateful. Those are points where I wasn't in this life. Those are points where in these YouTube videos I didn't have this life. Anything is possible. Make it happen. But without the motivational bullshit, we got work to do. I'm not even going to talk your heads off. We got an adventurous day. A lot of work that needs to be done. But it's not going to be one of the more entertaining vlogs. It's going to be one of those jam-packed vlogs where I'm giving value and trying to get shit done. So with that being said, let's see how my day turns out. And they sold it. I was gonna have a whole vlog and everything planned out. It just didn't go how I was expecting. I had a lot of one-on-ones. Today is Sunday. We have a session with the team later on tonight. Not sure why it's the calendar, but here. If you wanna look at the date, where's the time? It shows Dow Jones, okay? But it's 10:30. I am about to slide all the way to Sarasota on my Dolo. Best case scenario, I could trade my car and then I get a new car. Worst case scenario, I drive all the way over there and they sold the car. I had a car that I wanted, picked and everything, test drove the C43, everything. And when I went to go get it yesterday, they sold it the day before. So you know what? I'm probably gonna call them in 30 minutes because they're not open yet, but I do want to get there early just because it's an hour and a half drive, plus there might be traffic, plus I gotta drive back. There's a whole lot of shit that I'm not trying to deal with, so I'm just gonna try to get it done. But that being said, it's gonna be a long, adventurous day. Got content to make. It's just gonna be another work day, man. I got one-on-one sessions starting at 3 o'clock all the way until 6, which is another reason why I'm trying to get this shit out the way. But yeah, with that being said, let's have a great day. I'm gonna bring you guys along for the journey. Let's see, maybe we come back with a car. I'm not gonna have no expectations today. Not gonna get my hopes up because yesterday it hurt my soul. But you know what? We live to trade another day. We live to live another day. We're here. Let's enjoy the day. All right, we made it. We're at Mercedes Benz of Sarasota. Wish me luck. Let's see what we can do, man. Let's see what we can do. All right, so it turns out the car's not even at this one specifically. It's at not even at a Mercedes. It's at a Ford. So I'm gonna go there in a minute, but I'm also gonna take a look at these pre-owned cars that they have over here. They had a AMG C63, but it was a convertible, and I don't know how I feel about that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Don't know how I feel about that, but we about to see what's up. Walking around looking at all these cars, and half of these look like they're 2025s. Where the pre-owned, big dog? Look like they got a Bentley over here. I wonder what they traded a Bentley in for. There's a Aston Martin over there. So there's a lot of cars, and none of these are looking like ones I would want, though. That doesn't look like an AMG. This is nice though. I just don't like that red on the top. See, this is like what the 63 would have on it, but black. I would rather black than that red, but this shit is whack. The hell is this? That's GT. GT63. That looks nice, but it looks a little bit out of my tax bracket. I'm not gonna hold you. Fuck around and beat someone's car too. C43. It's nice. I don't see stuff on it. It looks like someone's car. Ain't that some shit? Thorough. They got a little Aston Martin. Not for sale though. Yeah, it's not looking very... What is that? I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look too old. It doesn't look new, at least. It looks used. Come on, please be a good price. Please, please, please. Unauthorized use of this vehicle. This vehicle is sole property of Mercedes. So let's see, this is not a lease return vehicle and therefore should not be grounded. Does that mean somebody's car got taken away? C63S? What's going on with this car? How can I get this car? I want this car. Well, that's whack. Can't even do nothing with it. Yeah. The only reason I don't want to go to Ford is because I wanted to do everything through Mercedes because it would have been a whole lot easier. But you know what? Won't know till you try. Won't know till you try. We're going to see what we could do. We're going to see what we could do. All right, so I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I found my microphone. It was like under my seatbelt. The bad news, the car isn't at this dealership. It's at a different dealership. More bad news, there isn't other shit at this dealership after walking around and looking at all their inventory. All they had were a whole bunch of brand new cars, like 2025. And then the cars that they did have that were older, they didn't have the ones that I would have wanted. And then the one that they did have that I would have wanted, that 2021 C63, it looks like somebody had a lease on it or something and got repoed. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's cleaned or anything. It doesn't look like it's being sold. There's no pricing on it, so I don't know. But we're gonna head to this Ford. We're gonna see what we can see over here. Looks like there's another dealership to the left of me. But you know what? We're just gonna go to where the car actually is. And with that being said, I will see you when we get there. Back on the phone camera. Alright, so we are officially outside. So this is the car right here. That car sounds amazing. I wish I would have had my glasses to record like when it was popping. That car be popping. But right now, we talked the numbers, but they said that most of the bank lenders are closed on Sunday. So we're just going to have to finish it up tomorrow in terms of running the numbers, seeing if everything is approved, seeing all that and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to see. It was a great car. I wish I could have left with it, but if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, it won't be. I'm not going to be looking to force nothing. If it's meant to be, it'll be. But now I got to head back home because I got some sessions I got to do starting at 3. So if it takes me about an hour to get home, I'll probably get home exactly when I got to hop on these sessions. So you know what? I try to do what I do. It's just closed today, so. But with that being said, on to this long ride I go. Alright, I'm about to run my first call of the day. We about to get straight to work. I haven't really been working so far today. So far, been a lot of disappointment. I'm looking at cars right now, trying to see where the closest ones in my vicinity would be besides the one I just looked at. Because like I said, if I can get something from Mercedes, it'll be a whole lot better. Because I can get the warranty, I'll get all the service and perks and everything. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to see. But like I said, about to hop on this one-on-one call, first one of the day. Let's give some value. Let's change some lives. I think he's new into trading, so this is going to be more of an educational, trying to get him started, trying to get him actually on his feet, trying to teach him exactly what it actually takes to be a successful trader.
Second day, yeah, I told you I had made that emotional trade. I feel like I shouldn't have hopped in, but yeah, I feel like shit been smooth. I feel like I've been seeing what I need to see, like in terms of the charts. Like I try to figure out and chart my map before I hop on the call and see what y'all got going on.
That's good. Like the main thing I wanted to make sure with the content was that you actually are able to take away some of the stuff from the live session, take away stuff from, like, say, the meeting recording. So that's where a lot of the game really is. Have you gone into those yet?
I watched probably a couple live recordings.
On NAS 100, it's going to be calculated a little bit different. So if you think about it like this, for every point is going to be 4 ticks on NAS 100.
Every point, and that's
so that would be, if you went at 20, that would be 20 times 4. And that's how many ticks you would use as your stop loss. So if that was a case also, that could have caused you to lose trades faster, because if you would have put 20 ticks, that's equivalent to like 4 points. You get what I'm saying? And that's going to...
Yeah.
So that's specifically on NAS. On US 30, 1 tick is 1 point. That's US 30 though. On NAS specifically, 1 point is going to be equal to 4 ticks. So if you want to have a 30-point stop loss, you're going to do 30 times 4. And that's like 120. So you have 120 ticks. But if you want to use 100 points on US 30, that'll still just be 100 ticks. But that's the difference between the two. And S&P 500 would even be different. But I don't even trade S&P 500, so I wouldn't even be able to... I don't even calculate it. I don't even know how to calculate it. Okay, so you're up a good, what was that, 377?
Yep.
How much were you risking per trade?
I was only doing 5 contracts. I think I was like around like 200.
First thing I noticed is the days that you were winning, you had less trades, but the day that you lost, you had more trades. That's one thing I noticed. So one thing that
yeah, for sure. This was the day that I was saying I was fucking up the stop loss, and I tried to get it in, and it was just fucking up. So I'm pretty sure, because this day I had caught. I missed my trade, my first initial trade, and then I did one emotional one after that, but I got stopped out pretty quick.
Okay, so risk reward wise, that was good risk. So if you risked 100 to make 300, that's still a 1 to 3. That's a good trade. It really just came down to that middle day that just kind of lost a little bit more. Because if you think of it like this, if that just would have been a minus 200, you still would have been up 7. You would have been up 800 for the week.
Yep.
So that would have been a W week. So basically, if you look at it like this. I'm trying to think of a way to put it. So when you get into a trade, right? Let's just say you traded NAS 100. Let's just say you bought at 20,000, right? It's just buying at 20,000. You have a 50-point stop loss. Your stop loss is at 21,950, right? So you got like a 50-point stop. You bought at 22,000. Well, 20,000. You bought there. Say that you entered with say you entered with 1 contract, right? But you didn't put a stop loss. So you just have 1 contract in there, right?
Yep.
So when you try to add an order, if you don't make sure that order, that stop loss is the same amount of contracts that you're in. Say, for example, you have that trade, you're in on 1 contract, but you put a stop loss at that 50 points, but it's 2 contracts. Now when it hits that stop loss, it's going to cancel your 1 and then start a whole nother sell because there's no other. It's like, think of it like subtraction. If you have 1 minus 1, you get 0. But if you have 0 minus 1, now you're negative. And then you're kind of... So basically it opens a trade when you don't have that same amount of contracts. Or even it does the opposite. If you have multiple contracts, say you have 2... Say you have 2 contracts in the trade. You bought with 2 contracts. If you only have a stop loss with the 1 contract, only 1 will close and the other one will still just be open. And it'll just be there. So it may just be that would just be now a trade with no stop loss. Because it's not going based off of stop loss, it's just going based off of closing how many orders you have opened. It's kind of, if that makes sense. It's just closing the orders you have in total. Because you can't buy and sell at the same time. So basically it's getting rid of all of them. And it's going to put you in something else. It looked like the trades that you're catching were W trades though. Like in terms of risk reward. Like you had you said you risked 200, made 700. That's like more than a 1 to 3. The 100 to make 300, that's still a 1 to 3. Like it's 2 1 to 3s.
He was at around like a band for that trade, and I had just took it out early because I was just geeked up real quick. My first one, 700.
All right, so the camera had died. Not gonna lie to you, the camera had died when I was doing the call and everything. But damn, it's bright. But I'm sure you could tell by the audio right now. I'm finally back on the microphone, back on the road mic. I'm about to put this camera like right over here right now. Oh, that's not a good angle. I'm gonna put you on a tripod because at least now I don't gotta sit in front of the camera for you to hear it. Bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, as of right now, the plan of action. So I got done all 6 of my one-on-one calls. plus the one I did this morning. So all 7 of my one-on-one calls for the day are all done. So like I said, if you want to work with me one-on-one, click that link in the description. It's going to be able to get you right. But there's no more content for there. Now I do have to have a call with everybody later on. I have 2 calls a week when it comes to the group calls. We're going to be going over the back testing. We're going to back test all of last week, review all of last week. So I'm going to give you clips from that too. This is just going to be a very educational vlog. Not every vlog going to be running around. But guess what? I could have got a car today. I didn't. I'm just going to keep working, keep pushing. If it's meant to be, it'll be. I honestly could still get it tomorrow. It's just a matter of, we'll see if everything is going to happen. Everything happens just as it's supposed to. We're not going to force nothing. Everything is going to happen when it's supposed to happen because that's how it's meant to happen. But what I did do, I did order food. I'm about to go to Yard House. About to go get my 20-ounce ribeye, mashed potatoes, and french fries. Come on, it's not a good day without eating some steak. Every day that I can eat steak is a good day. Even though I didn't get a car today, it's all good. I kept money in my bank account. I'm still in the same position I woke up in. And guess what? I'm still here to be able to live the trade another day. I'm still here to be able to take advantage of every opportunity that life throws at me. So you know what? It's a W day. And then you got the dog over here. The weather's not that bad today. It's pretty warm. We got Luna chilling over here. What you doing, girl? But it's definitely a good day out in terms of the weather, in terms of how warm. Looks like 80s today. 6 o'clock and it's 80s. You can't see the time, but it's a beautiful day. Love Florida, love being here. Don't regret nothing. And then we got the other dog. Right now, about to go grab the food. Okay, I'm still getting used to using my wrists and everything. It's way better than what it was, but it's still not perfect, It's still not perfect. It's still got some pain, especially like when I turn my hand at certain angles. But for the most part, we doing good. We doing good for the people that do care. But yeah, it's just another working day. Not every day as a trader is going to be stuck on the charts. Trust me. On the weekends, I don't spend that much time on the charts to begin with. Besides the time that I spend with my team on the charts, I'm not personally spending hours upon hours on the charts on the weekend. Most of the experience that I get is from forward testing. Most of the value I'm going to get is from being there live. Most of the gems that I'm going to be able to give and this lessons I'm going to learn from is going to be from me actually being there, taking the trade live, being in the trade live, seeing the trade before it happens, being there to handle the loss, being there to handle the W. That's the work that I got to do. I'm not trying to get confidence in my setup. I already have confidence in my setup. I don't need to be back testing all the time. I know my system works. I have the confidence to wait for it to work. I'm not looking to improve those ways. The main thing I'm doing is trying to keep myself in the game, trying to keep myself from self-sabotaging myself, trying to keep myself from taking myself out the game. Look at this over here, this car, C63S. Yeah, motherfucker. The car is gonna come when it comes. Like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna name this title, but all I know is gonna be called something that has to do with the cars, because I really, 2 times in a row I went to these car dealerships and left with nothing. But guess what? If it's meant to be, it'll be. I mean, that's the topic of today's video. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Don't force anything. Don't force trades. Don't force relationships. Don't force anything. If it's meant to be, it'll be. As of right now, we're about to be active with the team, with the trading team, right? You guys are about to be active with us too. We're about to go over all the price action from last week. It was a pretty choppy week. It was a W week overall. The week that led me to go on vacation. I don't have a tripod. But with that being said, I'm gonna give you guys clips and everything. Like I told you many, many times already, it's just an informative vlog. This is just a very value-packed vlog. But with that being said, stop with the yapping. Let's get straight to the game. More choppy days, because I feel like the choppy days had more range, and since they had more range, there was a lot more happening within the ranges. So now we're gonna move on to Tuesday. So we're gonna mark up the previous highs and lows for Monday. And as you can see, it was an overall bearish day. The previous low got ran and the previous high got nowhere near ran. Now, if this was bearish day and Monday was bearish, we would have ideally been looking for shorts. Now, based off of how we trade, where would have ideal shorts be? That's going to be what we're going to go over. But ideally, we're looking for shorts because the previous day was bearish. And if we would have waken up at 9 o'clock in the morning, which would have been like right here, we would have seen that ever since London, it's been one direction. Now, one thing I always tell you guys, when we're looking for price to go a specific direction, pay attention to what price is doing at specific times. If you see that at a specific time, price ran the old higher low at a specific time, price traded into a gap and immediately got a lot of volume to one direction, and you also see that we're very close to a previous higher low that's following the trend, usually price is going to try to make a run for it. Now in this case, this looks like a very trendy day, so we're not likely going to find a false break move. But in situations like this where the market is trending, where the market is going to a specific area, when we have those imbalances, when we have those fair value gaps, those are going to be trades that a lot of the time give you a good little edge. Now in this case, this is 9 o'clock before we ran this low. Where could have you gotten a short for this? Now first thing I notice is right here, if we pull a gap, 930 tapped into this gap. Now this is something I was looking for a trade with. I don't know if Jenner's in the call, but I remember me and Jenner were, no, was it Jenner? It was me and Jay. Jay, if you're here, we were looking for the shorts, and as soon as it tapped into this, it just immediately dropped. Why was I looking for the shorts? Because if we pay attention to London session had the high. Now, even though London session didn't run above the Asian session high, if it would have had a false break move, such as something like that, this would have been even more strong, but that didn't happen. But since it was so trendy and it was just in one direction and we were so close to this previous day's low, I was just betting on the fact that we're going to try to make a run for this low before going higher. And if I would have been wrong, I would have been wrong. But if you pull a fib from that London high to the low before we got a retracement to this gap and get a fib, let's see if it lines up with the continuation level also. Because like I said, these imbalance plays, these fair value gap plays are usually in a trending environment. And the continuation level is right there. Now it's not perfect, but you can see on a week like this, nothing's going to be perfect. It missed it by a couple points, but it didn't miss the gap. Gap is real price action. This fib is just a percentage. But this gap is real price action. But we're still going to count that as confirmation because I still would have been looking for it to come to this area. And even though it's off by a couple points, in an ideal situation, it would have did something like this. Like if I were to, like this. In an ideal situation, it might have did something like that. Tapped into it, came a little bit lower. But that would have been something that would have been ideal. But in this case, on a choppy week, it didn't do that. So what would have been the reason to get into the trade? So for one, is at our time to trade. So at 9 in the morning, we traded into a 1 hour for value gap. We were already bearish because the previous day was bearish, right? And London was bearish, and we were already right here next to the previous day's low. So we wanted to see price just continue lower. And then we had our final confirmation, which would be the fib short, 38.20% level, meaning that is our continuation level, meaning that is what we use when we're usually looking for price to continue a specific direction when it comes to being very trendy. Okay, let me zoom out because the range is going to be hard for me to put these abbreviations. So I'm going to just put it up here. Boom. I'm going to go over here. Okay, this is, you know what I'm going to do? I got to make these words smaller. That's just not going to cut it. Okay. There we go. Nice and small over there. But now where in terms of the entry would have been? Now, like I said, the fib isn't showing you anything when it comes to an actual piece of price action. It's just a specific area. It's just a percentage. It's just a area. That's all it is. But the one area that we could have gotten at would have been this gap. Because as soon as we traded into that gap at our time to trade, that could have been our reason to go short with a wide enough stop loss of maybe 50 points. 50 points would have been enough. 100 would have been enough. Either way, our stop loss would have been more than enough because this was an entry that would have been damn near perfect. And it's going to happen. Sometimes you'll get perfect entries. Sometimes you'll get not so perfect. But if you would have been looking for a nice little 1 to 2, you could have got a 1 to 2 just targeting this low right here. That would have been a great trade. You could have got out right when it hit this low. If you would have got out at the previous low, that could have gave you a nice little 1 to 3. Now that would have been the ideal area to get out to make the most sense of the range, because once it came here, for all you know, it could have went back up into the range, but it didn't. And this is one of those days where that trade could have went to a 1 to 13. And even if you had a wider stop loss of 100 points and not 50, that still could have been a 1 to 7, which is crazy. 1 to 7, most of us don't even make that in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like most of us, if we take multiple trades in a week, even if we have a pretty decent average risk reward, we're usually not going to make 7 times what we risk in a week. You know what I mean? Like on average, that's a very substantial amount. Like if you can make seven times what you risk in a week, you can make a lot of money. Because even risking $100, even risking $50, there's no reason you can't be making hundreds of dollars a day with that average risk reward. That's a lot. But even me, all I need is a nice little 1 to 2. And that's all you need. A 1 to 2, you call it a day. If you want to, really, then leave a runner. If you would have had 100 points stop loss, you would have got a 1 to 2 a little bit under this previous day's low. But regardless, it would have been good price action. Like this is all great price action to learn off of, because this is real. Like this is just gaps. This is a trade that I looked for many times this week. Now, what is this trade? I look for price to have a consolidation, usually the Asian session range. Price will run above an old higher low, either drop or go up, and retrace into a gap. When it retraces into the gap, I'm now going to use that as the area to get into a trade, whether I'm going short or whether I'm going long, to then take it the other direction. That's really it. And if I don't get this false break move, I'm looking for the gap move. That's exactly what happened here. Price consolidated. It didn't have a false break, but it consolidated, dropped. When it dropped, it left a gap behind. Wait for the gap to get traded into and target what? One of the high probability lows. Could have did the same thing if this was vice versa. This could have been something that you would have been looking for longs. Just trading it to a gap. Like, the direction doesn't really mean anything a lot of the time. The only time direction matters is when you're actually trying to take a specific trade. But when it comes to your system, when it comes to your setup, the direction doesn't matter. It's going to be the same thing each single time. Look at this for how many people are on here now? 24? Copy. But yeah, that's going to be Tuesday. Tuesday had a way better trade opportunity, in my opinion, than Monday because it actually fit our price action during our time to trade. All right, and just like that, we are done with the session. It was probably maybe about, it was about 40 minutes. It wasn't too crazy. It was a quick market breakdown, and I'm sure you guys will see that from the stuff. But I also want to give a shout out to my boy Angelo. Angelo just got a payout with Top Step of $678. Good work, Angelo. He's someone that has been going crazy. He's sober. He going crazy right now. Anybody that knows Angelo, Angelo's a character. Angelo is that guy. So shout out to Angelo. If you're watching this, good work. First of many. 600 gonna turn to 1200. 1200 gonna turn to 24. 24 gonna turn into 48. I think 48, yeah. But we're gonna make it happen, Birdie. But with that being said, this is where the video is gonna be coming to an end. I gotta upload this video. I gotta edit the calls. I gotta do a whole lot of editing and stuff, and it's already 9 o'clock at night. So it's gonna be a short vlog. Not short, so it's gonna be a 20-minute vlog. You know how I am. I'm gonna add enough content. But with that being said, I love you guys. If you want to work with me, the description. If you want to get access to the free trading training so you can learn exactly what to do when it comes to trading A to Z for free, second link in the description. I love you guys, and we'll be back with more value tomorrow.